welcome back to Hardy's Books. And today we have a very special treat for you.
Like getting scratched underneath the head if you're a cat.
Like
there you go.
That, yes, good boy. Today we're doing our bookshelf tour 2024. It's a video that people have been asking for, and we are giving to you with bells on. They say that it takes 1,000 books to make a library, and that is a target that we have not only hit, but we have overshot. So, Ross, do you want to talk about your shelves?
Yeah, so we moved in back in February, got our keys. Laura and I moving into our own house for the first time together, and we moved into the dining room, and there was space for bookshelves, but no bookshelves. So we had to come up with some plans, and the first few plans were a bit rubbish, and then we eventually settled on one that felt right. So I took some time off work, bought a bunch of wood. This was hardwood plywood with oak fronts, and I built the base and cut some long strips, and then cut some of those strips into shelves, and then build what I was calling carcasses, which was rather macabre.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so I built a few of those. They turned out to be very, very heavy, until eventually we got them all in place, and you could see a little bit of Robin Hood there, just for scale, just to see if we got it right. And we had some mistakes along the way. The finish was a bit of a funny one, but we did eventually work it out. But some excellent things as well. You see Fang photobombing that, and photobombing all the time. So eventually we finished the shelves. They look like this, and we stained them and we covered them with Danish oil until they developed into this.
They are Ross's pride and joy.
Oh yes.
And here they are, filled with our books.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books.
And thus concludes the history, and thus begins the tour.
So it's worth starting with the first author in the alphabet, Ben Aaronovitch.
Yeah.
And this one you got signed at Galantsfest, I believe.
I think so, yeah. Ben is an author that I've loved for many years, and that we've met several times, most recently at Worldcon. This is also the only series that I've ever recommended to my dad successfully, in that he read it and loved it. So if that's not a glowing recommendation, I don't know what is.
Moving on from Aaronovitch onto Abercrombie, another author that we have a lot of books from.
Yeah.
But I think we're now at the point where we have basically everything signed. But the most special one, of course, is this copy of The Blade itself.
This is a first. It's ex-library.
Yes, and it was rebound as well, so you can see there's kind of slightly flimsy boards.
Yeah, but it's rare as hen's teeth. Rarer, in fact.
And it's got a little dedication from Mr. Joe right there. Looks beautiful on the shelf.
It's my pride and joy.
Yeah. So we're doing well for Abercrombie, but we do currently miss the heroes. And in terms of the ones we don't have signed, I don't think we got Red Country signed yet.
Not quite, no.
But we have got all of the Age of Madness series signed, especially A Little Hatred. We just got signed at Worldcon, and we met Joe once again. He's just the coolest dude. We love Joe. We love him so much. Moving on from Joe Abercrombie, we have on the right-hand side a lovely little paperback copy of The Judas Blossom from Stephen Aryan, who we met at Worldcon. He is such a lovely guy. We love him so much, and really can't wait to dive into that book. So moving on, I think this might be my favourite shelf, you know, Laura.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I just really love a lot of the books that we have on the shelf, especially that Ray Bradbury, but we'll come to him in a second. First of all, the duck.
Yeah, we love the duck. That duck I got from my late aunt, and my brother's got one as well.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
The duck is looking after this beautiful Inkstone Books copy of The Tainted Cup, which is one of my favourite books that I read this year, that is released this year. It is such a great little murder mystery. But this here, the pièce de résistance.
This is beautiful.
We both love Something Wicked This Way Comes. And this here is a UK second print of the first edition by Rupert Hart-Davis. And my gosh, it is so, so beautiful. We love the art. I think it's the centerpiece, really, of that shelf. But then we also have some Christopher Buehlman. We really, really like Chris. He's a great guy. He is an incredible writer, and I really can't wait to dive into The Daughter's War. It looks incredible, and all other authors seem to be saying he's the guy to watch out for. What do we have here, Laura?
So we've got some lovely little paperbacks of Ray Bradbury. I just love the older illustrations on the front covers.
They're so gorgeous.
And we've flown past them, but if you get the chance to go back and have a look at those illustrations, I would really recommend it.
Yeah, in fact, all of these, every single book that we show you, remember, the pause button exists. So if we fly by it, it's because we have a lot of books and we really do need to crack on.
Otherwise, we'll be here all day.
This is another one of my favourite shelves.
There's a theme here. The theme is that we are book collectors.
Yeah.
Book collecting and book reading are two different hobbies. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted.
And you'll see that we have multiple copies of the same book, as is exhibited here. Ross, do you want to talk about this?
Yes. Exhalation is my favourite short story collection by Ted Chiang. This one, Laura got me for Christmas last year, and it is one of the Goldsboro editions, one of the 150 numbered copies. Both of these are signed. This is the Subterranean Press copy, which we bought at Worldcon. Locus magazine was the company selling this one, and so it's a publisher's copy, and yeah, amazing.
I think it's worth us acknowledging that we are in a very blessed position to be able to have so many lovely editions of books.
Yeah.
For example, here you can see we've got 3 different copies of Jonathan Strange,
including this. Is the Rolls-Royce copy of Jonathan Strange. This is one of the 1,450 first print slip-cased signed copies that one point we actually had 2 of them because. Bear in mind as well as collectors, we are also booksellers.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool books come through our door.
Yeah.
Which then we get to say goodbye to.
Yeah.
And some books you end up foster failing.
Yeah. This was one of those.
Absolutely.
What's this then, though?
Yeah, this is another copy of Jonathan Strange. Noticing a theme. This is the Folio Society copy right here, released this year. Beautiful illustrations by Charles Vess. I love these. They are just so lovely. Unfortunately, it's not the signed one, but you know, we had limits. We couldn't
be spending like, what was it, like 400 pounds, something like that, on the signed ones.
Look at those
and then they
illustrations.
sold out in like under a minute or something crazy.
Their website crashed.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was wild.
You should all read Piranesi. I'm just going to tell you that. You should all read this book.
I have to say, I've not.
Laura.
Okay, moving
the gasp.
on.
Hey, look, it's one of your favourite books from when you were a kid, just about to come out here.
Yeah, this is Artemis Fowl. I would credit this book with getting me hooked on books.
Oh, it's so cool. It's so shiny, so glittery. So shiny.
Had the LEP recon unit.
It did. Oh, I love that so much. So we also have this very strange little duet edition of This Is How You Lose a Time War from Illumicrates in a little slipcase. Very weird. It's just the same book twice. Don't know about that.
We got it in a charity shop.
We did. It was like £5.
Yeah. Then it turned out it was quite a rare one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we have a little Malazan collection building as well. Not the full 10, but we just have some very nice additions that I'm very pleased with. So starting off, we have this copy of Gardens of the Moon. So these look like regular publisher copies, but they're a little bit smaller. Even though they have the publisher on the side, they are actually book club copies, but they have really high production quality. So you wouldn't really know them for book club copies unless you were a real nerd. We ended up getting the first 4, I believe those are the first 4. Have I missed any of them? I don't know, maybe. I don't know Malazan very well. But they are great and really nice and high quality. But we also have a first print of Gardens of the Moon. This was before they released any hardbacks. This is the very, very first Malazan book in the first edition that came out, and it is gorgeous.
This is one that we got for like £1.50 on Vinted.
It was a real win.
This might be a good time for us to plug your video on getting into rare book collecting.
Yeah, if you like us want to get into rare book collecting, then you should definitely check out the video. Got to put it on the top right so you can click that, and it should give you some hints and tips on how to judge a book's value and how to find rare books as well. So check that out. It's a great video, a little bit old now, but I think it still holds up. You know, it's evergreen information.
Yeah.
These books don't really hold up though, Laura. They're still falling apart.
These are my reading copies of the Rift War Saga. This copy of Magician, I think I must have not just dropped it in the bath and it got a little grazing. I think I must have fully submerged it.
Are you sure that you didn't put it on a spin cycle?
But then I have also got this lovely trade paperback copy here with the beautiful illustration. And then this one, I don't know what day this is releasing. We're recording this on the bank holiday Monday, but this book comes out on the 29th.
So it might coincide with release date. Jennifer Delaney, we love you so much. Dearest Jennifer.
Yeah.
So lovely. What a gal.
Yeah. Right, moving on.
Oh, what another gal, Joanne Harris.
Yeah, we love Joanne. Let's talk John Gwynne quickly.
These ones here, thank you Penguin for sending these, the of Blood and Bone trilogy. But look at this one here. We have a very special copy of Malice. So one of our kind of collection philosophies is we tend to go in more for first editions than special editions.
Yeah.
And this one here is a first edition.
Yeah.
A little bit bashed. Oh, we'll just bash the light.
Whoops.
A little bit hammered, but it holds up.
This is another first edition. This is a first edition of The Shadow of the Gods, and that is a first edition of The Hunger of the Gods. The Hunger of the Gods is signed. Shadow of the Gods is not, sadly.
We're coming for you, John.
We're coming. The second I hear that he's doing a signing anywhere within 500 miles of our house, I'll be there.
This is a copy of June that I bought in Edinburgh at Edinburgh Waterstones. It is the Ace hardback. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Look at that lovely kind of shininess. Ooh, catches the light so well. It's gorgeous.
Oof, right, we're moving on to my fave.
I'm just going to sit back for a minute and let you talk about this, Laura.
Right, if you have followed us for any period of time, you'll know that I absolutely love The Realm of the Eldlings. And on this shelf, we've got various different editions, which again goes back to our collecting. We have various different copies of various different editions.
You're right, you need some help there.
Yeah, so this is really, really heavy. This is, look how my hands have changed from my lovely little lady dainty hands.
Man hands.
To man hands. I forget what the special occasion was for this.
It's a folio copy.
Yeah, okay, so this is just a folio edition with the beautiful illustrations. And that is slipped cased. Next to it, you've got in the sort of royal blue, the 20th anniversary edition illustrated. Don't have Assassin's Quest, which is sad, but here is a very special copy. This is a first edition of the UK edition. It's not signed. Again, as soon as Robin does any signings within 500 miles of me, I'll be there.
Watch out, Italy. Wait, no, is Italy 500 miles away?
I don't
Probably
know.
Further away.
Probably further
away.
I don't know. Maybe we'll go to Seattle Worldcon.
Oh, that would be amazing.
It would.
She'll definitely be there. Surely she must be there. She's just around the corner from
Seattle.
Seattle.
She lives not that far from there. So if you live in the Seattle area and fancy putting up two lovely British nerds, let us know.
Let us know. But it wouldn't be the first time you've met Robin Hobb, right?
No, I met her at a signing when Assassin's Fate came out, which is when she signed this for me, actually, which it's still got the post-it note in it. And this is my very first reading copy. These here are US paperbacks of the Farseer trilogy, and I just love the bright, colourful illustrations on the covers. And again, this is going back to the having multiple editions of the same book. I don't care. Here I've got two different sets of Tawny Man in hardback, both of which are incomplete.
We need to sort this out.
Yeah, really, I really, really do. And then at the end there, I've got three. I've got the full Fits in the Full trilogy. These are all first editions. I don't think they're all signed, but this one is signed, and I got this signed at the signing by Robin. It's dedicated to me. This was before I was a rare book collector. This was way before I knew Ross. So I got this on publication day, and I wanted to read it. So I read it in the bath, and I had it in my handbag for 6 months, and I lugged it around, and it got completely battered, but it's got a patina, shall we say.
We need to get you like some kind of stand for reading books in the bath, like just, you don't even need to touch it,
Yeah, I'm such a Robin Hobb fangirl that I've also got these lovely Jackie Morris postcards.
Not enough of a Robin Hobb fangirl to have complete sets though, Laura.
I know, but they're so expensive.
They are expensive.
And yeah.
In fact, this was funny when we did this shelf. We were trying to record audio as we were doing it, and which made for some funny kind of mistakes. But anyway, have a listen to this.
We've only got 3 of them.
I don't have all 4.
We don't have all 4. Which one are we missing? This is
Blood of Dragons.
unacceptable. How dare! This is outrageous. Outrageous.
Yeah, so we are missing one of the of that series, which I'm very upset about.
Yeah.
But moving on, there's my reading copy of Tawny Man hidden behind the Bible Prince. And,
Oh, that's falling apart, Laura.
yeah, again, red in the bath.
Well, you got to have reading copies. You know,
Yeah.
have copies to collect and copies to read.
Yeah, book reading and book collecting are two different hobbies. Say it louder for those at the back.
Book reading and book collecting. This one here, picked up at a charity shop just because I loved the art. Have yet to read it, but with art like that, it's got to be good on the inside, surely. You know, judge a book by its cover, folks. We have two books here by Stark Holborn or Holborn. We haven't quite decided. Very keen to read Ten Low. It's been on my perpetual TBR. Apparently, it's like Mad Max. And we also have at the end here a little arc from Angry Robot. It's Cameron Johnston's The Last Shield, which is apparently like Die Hard in a castle.
It has come out now.
It has come out. It's out, everyone. Go and buy it.
Yeah, go and support Cameron because he's such a dude.
Yeah.
This is our friend Mare's favourite book, and if we didn't give it a shout out, I fear she would actually come to our house and like stand over us while we were sleeping.
Yeah, probably breathe down our necks,
Yeah.
you know, breathe in our ears, like, hey, this is special. We keep accidentally running into Esmie Jikiemi-Pearson.
Accidentally, in that we deliberately turn up at signings.
Don't give our secret away, Laura. So this one's been signed 3 times.
And we were so Ross wanted to get it signed a 4th time and I vetoed it. And then Ross told her that I'd vetoed it and she was like, why?
Look, I mean, I thought she would find it funny.
Apparently she would have done, and I'm just a massive killjoy.
Yeah. No, you're not a killjoy. You don't kill joy, you expand joy.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. So onto books that expand joy exponentially until the joy is so rarefied that another author had to take over. Eye of the World and Wheel of Time. So that's a very, very lovely UK hardback of Eye of the World, which is the first book of Wheel of Time. This one here is a second print. Look at those end papers. And yeah, unfortunately second print, but it's still bright, it's still beautiful. And
Sorry.
what? Are you singing hymns?
Yeah, my head is like, oh, things right. Sorry.
That was also an early print of The Grey Hunt. I started to collect UK ones I started to collect US ones and then I kind of switched to UK and now I have a big US collection, a very small UK collection. But I'm working on it. We're working on it. We'll get there eventually. So dropping down a shelf, we have the special edition of Eye of the World, illustrated by Stephen Player, who is a dude. He offered to illustrate the cover for my first book, of course paid, but he was very enthusiastic about it. So I have a big soft spot for Stephen Player. He's a real legend. Hiding behind that copy of Tigana was some Guy Gavriel K's I Love a Song for Arbonne. It is gorgeous, a gorgeous book. We have 2 copies of it, including a first edition in the hardback there. And right next to it, we have another first edition that's absolutely mashed, but you know, put it in a little cellophane jacket and things start to look a bit nicer. And this here is a first edition of it. It's one of those books that
This is another one that you got on Vinted.
It is, yeah. Yeah, bought on Vinted. It is a book that I love and also despise. You know, I have some complicated relationships with many books.
The Poppy War is an amazing book. I'm still halfway through The Dragon Republic. I'm enjoying it enormously.
Taking your time with it.
Yeah.
On purpose.
On purpose.
Laura likes
Savouring
slow
it.
reading books.
I do. I'm savouring it.
We've been reading Perilous Times for about a year and a half now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Look, okay, you know, you don't have to rush through things.
No.
You can take your time. No one's judging you.
No.
Oh, well, we're not judging you especially. You
No.
know, just take your time.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, this is one of my favourite shelves. Again, I love all these shelves, Laura. I love all these shelves, but Ursula Le Guin has a very special place in my heart. Starting off, we have these hardback copies of the Green Bone Saga. I think 2 of them are first, and I think Jade City might be a second print, but they are gorgeous, and I quite like the glossy dust jackets. You know,
I don't love them.
No, okay,
No.
right. Let's take a look at this one. A Wizard of Earthsea. I mean, it is just one of the most amazing books ever written. So digestible, so readable. This one here is a second print of the first UK edition, published by Gollancz. It is a gorgeous copy with amazing art, and we have, to match it, we have the Tombs of Atuan and the Father's Shore as well.
They're so beautiful.
So beautiful.
Look at those illustrations.
Just amazing. I mean, yeah.
This is what art collecting. This is what book collecting is all about.
Also art collecting.
It is art. It's art.
Yeah. You have, just behind there, you have your copies of Narnia from when you were a kid.
Yeah, they were gifted to me by my godmother when I was very, very wee.
You've got the Space Trilogy from C.S. Lewis and some other ones behind there as well.
Yeah.
Just basically, our philosophy for these shelves is we kind of stack books, like our paperbacks, behind a book that we want to show off. And that allows us to have more space for books, which was necessary because we couldn't possibly have them all on there if we hadn't have done that.
No, no way.
So it's our little solution, and I think it works quite well.
We did basically move house because we needed more space for books.
Yeah.
And we've now pretty much maxed out this house. So we're now like, okay, what do we do now?
We probably have to do a 1 in 1 out policy soon.
No, we can't. I can't be dealing with that.
No, we can't be dealing with that. Hey, look, it's The Lies of Lot Lamora.
So this is a book that I first read when I was first getting back into genre fiction many moons ago, and was very important in my journey back into reading. So when I got the opportunity to meet Scott at Welcome, I jumped at it. He was at the Gallant stand, so I got him to sign my paperback, and he doodled a little shark, and it was just wonderful.
It was wonderful. Hey, this is another one of your favourite books, isn't it?
This is possibly my favourite book. This is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, and this is just so wonderful. This is a signed first edition.
US as well.
It is my pride and joy. In a house fire, I would save the cat, and I would save that book.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
We have some more here, don't we?
Yeah, we also have Sea of Tranquility, which was my book of the year last year. We also have The Glass Hotel. Yeah.
Yet to read that one, but a lot of people say it's brilliant. So
yeah, everything that Emily has ever written is brilliant. So, yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
This here is a first print of A Storm of Swords. So first print in the US. We bought it at Wellcon as well. And yeah, so verifying it on the number line. We have a lot more George R.R. Martin to come on the next shelf. There we go. Look at those. Ooh. Yeah, get an eyeball full of that. Ooh.
We have too many.
No, we don't. No,
yes,
we
yes,
don't.
We do.
So on the left side, we have these UK reprints, I think from 2011, same year as The Dance of Dragons. They all came out looking roughly the same in this kind of white, greyish look with the gilt on the...
Are they the UK ones?
Typography. Yes, those are the UK ones, Harper Voyager. And on the right-hand side, we have the Bantam Press US hardbacks as well, which I love for their primary colours. You know, they're so bold. So there's kind of, both of them, I think, look really good next to each other.
I have a question.
Yes?
Why are the US ones smaller?
I think maybe the text size. And look, we got 3 copies of Storm of Swords right there to compare them. But yeah, I think it's the text size. I don't know. They weigh roughly the same. So
that's weird.
Yeah. Maybe like in the US they didn't get the whole book. Maybe like he cut out some chapters or something.
Oh, let's go with that.
Yeah, I like that idea. Maybe they didn't get the Red Wedding in the US. So we have to say thanks to Angry Robot here for this little arc of Gog Magog. Very excited to read that. And we have a book you're currently reading.
I'm reading this at the moment, and it is so good. I am loving it. I'm about halfway through at the moment, and I am devouring it. We met Taran Matharu at, was it?
Chimera.
Chimera. And that was before I'd actually read this book. But our friend Mare loves it, and I knew I was going to like it. And yeah, it's brilliant. So far, I'm really enjoying it.
You're devouring it, aren't you? You're reading it very quickly.
Yeah, and I don't tend to read quickly. We've just skipped over Boy's Life by Robert McCammon, which is one of your faves.
I really enjoyed reading that last year. But it's okay. Look, we're going to be skipping over books. We don't have enough time. We don't have enough time. We're trying to make this chill. And we don't have enough time because we've got so many books. We have to slow down. No, it's fine. Remember, everyone, if you feel like we're going too fast,
the pause button
button is there. You can also put us on 0.5 speed if you want to. Another copy of Game of Thrones hiding behind Gorav's book there. I think that's actually quite thematic, that Game of Thrones is tucked away behind Gorav's book.
Absolutely.
Hey, look, we're speaking of books we have multiple copies of. Again, Canticle for Leibowitz there. That's on my perpetual TBR. I will eventually read it. You know, it's one of those books that just... you can never find the time to start it. I'm sure you all have those books, folks. We can't be the only people like that.
Surely not.
Surely not. This is a first edition of Uprooted. That is a book that you've read.
I have read it. Yeah, I have read it. It's fine. It's good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
This is our special ARC copy of The Death of the
I
Author.
can't wait to read this. I've got to finish Dragon Rider and the other ARC that I'm reading, and then I'm getting to that.
Yeah. Dance of Shadows, Rogba Payne.
We love Rogba.
We love Rogba so much. Rogba, if you're watching, we love you. And Rogba signed this for us back at Gallant's Fest, but we've met him since then at Worldcon again, and he had lunch with us, and he's such a dude. We love him so much. Titus Groan from the Gormenghast series. A lot of authors cite this as like a seminal work, including Joanne Harris, and I found out recently, Ursula Le Guin.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting.
It
makes me think I should probably read this.
It's a book that... there are actually a few books on the shelf that are in this kind of category of books that annoy me to no end. The Sparrow is another one of those books that annoy me to no end. But it's a 3-star book that I loved. How do I describe that? You know,
that's still got the charity shop sticker on it.
Whoops. You can see where we get a lot of our books from.
Yeah.
You know, how to have a large book collection like this is to look for the bargains.
Yeah. So don't think that we bought this all very quickly. This has been years in the making.
Yep.
This has been curated over a very long time. There's been things that have come through these doors and back out of them.
Yeah, this one nearly came back out again. But I still love The Name of the Wind. Both of us strongly dislike Wise Man's Fear, but The Name of the Wind is a very important book to me, and this is the first US edition of it. One of the two. There's another one that has Gavoth on the cover, but this one has the wind blowing thing. It's been a while since I've read it. Okay, let's talk about my favourite series of this year. The books that I have been absolutely devouring like it was going to be taken off the McDonald's menu. Tucked inside this copy of Empire of Silence is a little note from a friend of ours, Jake, who sold us his first copy of Empire of Silence, which we have also pushed onto other passages now because we replaced it with this. All of our Sun Eater books are signed and numbered with the same number, 132. And let me tell you, that was hard.
Yeah.
Finding any of these UK hardbacks is hard because only a very few of them are printed. And, now we've got the broken binding ones coming up. People ask me, are you going to buy the broken binding ones? I don't need to. I've got these UK ones. I'm very, very happy with them. And they are beautiful and gorgeous. And look, why would I need any other copy? He says to himself, looking at his wallet.
Yeah.
Readying the card against the card machine.
No.
We have a Sander shelf.
Yeah.
A Sanderson shelf. This is a
Bandon Sanderson.
Bandasand. So we have the first Mistborn trilogy here. This is these American hardbacks, and on the left-hand side...
Look at those illustrations.
This copy of Mistborn is very special because I bought it not, in fact, knowing what I'd find on the inside, which is that it was signed. And that wasn't even the product description. So I was very, very, very lucky.
I considered changing my name to Thomas when we found that.
We also have Stormlight. We've only got the UK copy of the first one, which is a reprint, but we do have US copies of the next 3.
I really want a US copy of The Way of Kings. If you are in possession of one and would part with it for less than
what it's worth,
market value, please let me know.
That is exactly like that. This is how you can build up a book collection like this. Is if you don't spend market value on things.
No, you have to look for the bargains. That's the trick.
Yeah. This was a book we got given for free at Galance Fest. Thank you, Galance. Once again, we won it in the raffle. It is The Witcher, The Last Witch. The Last Witch? Wish.
What?
Well, I don't know. Shigidi is a book that I am dying to read. He says, having bought it months ago and still not picked it up. But it is about a heist in the British Museum, which appeals to me.
Considering that most of the stuff in the British Museum has been looted.
Yeah, absolutely. Hyperion. Class this one under 3-star books that I love. Or 5-star books that I hate. I don't know. Class it under complicated relationship with. It is an amazing book that I wanted to throw against a wall. And Children of Time. Now, this falls under the first editions over special editions category because you can get a broken binding copy of this, but what we have is an actual first edition, which Adrian himself signed and doodled. And every time we've met Adrian Tchaikovsky, he has signed and doodled our books. And so we also have Service Model and City of Last Chances here. And let's show you some of his doodles, some of his amazing artwork. Inside here we have a little teacup. Lovely. Brilliant. And inside City of Last Chances we have a vulture.
I love it.
So amazing.
He's such a dude. I love Adrian. I lent him a pen once and then bumped into him again about 20 minutes later, and he introduced himself to me like we'd never met. And I was like, I know. You have my pen.
Well, he's face blind.
He is face blind.
But it was still funny.
Yeah.
We didn't know that.
Yeah. I was like, I'm never getting that pen back, am I?
Let me talk about my special copy of The Hobbit. This is a 2nd edition 15th impression of The Hobbit, and I bought it very cheaply. It was taped, in fact. The dust jacket had tape all over it, and I went about a very delicate operation to remove it, and with it removed most of the dust jacket art as well. And then my mum, who is an incredible artist, managed to restore it to looking pretty close to how it looked when it came off the press. I'm so grateful to her for that. This here is a little facsimile copy of The Hobbit. I have a lot of copies of The Hobbit.
He has too many.
You can never have enough. Jury's out.
Yeah.
I just, I like The Hobbit. I like the arts. Maybe I'm like Smaug, just like hoarding it like dwarvish gold.
Yes, maybe. Okay, fine.
So these are HarperCollins hardbacks of Lord of the Rings. These are actually my favourite copies of Lord of the Rings.
They're beautiful.
They came in a little slipcase, and you can get paperbacks like this quite easily, but the hardbacks are pretty difficult to find.
I really like, we've got on the shop, so not on the shelves, the white ones.
The folio ones.
The white folio ones.
Oh yeah, those are gorgeous.
We'll put a link to the listing on the website.
Yes.
So you can go and have a little look.
Remember, we are booksellers and we do sell books, and we are actually going to be listing a lot more books on the website soon. So keep an eye on hardysbooks.co.uk.
So we actually first started this YouTube channel to try and shill some of our stuff, and then realised that it was way more fun to just make fun videos.
Yeah.
So
it started out as a commercial venture and quickly became a passion project. Can you believe it? It's the opposite way around.
Yeah.
This is an illustrated copy of Lord of the Rings. There are different illustrated copies. That's my favourite. And we also have our own folio copies of Lord of the Rings. I think these are from the 90s. And they are these aren't the white ones we were talking about. They are more simple. The ones we were talking about are from the 70s, I believe. And these ones have pretty much the same interior with those amazing
look at these
illustrations.
Amazing illustrations.
Yeah. They're gorgeous and they are heavy. Once again.
Yeah.
This is a strange little box of the Great Tales that I picked up. So it's talking Beren and Luthien and the Fall of Gondolin and Children of Húrin. I just like it having it in a box, you know? It's just having it in a little set. It's nice to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tolkien collection is pretty big, and there's more of it.
Yeah.
But the only ones left are little paperbacks / reading copies / my childhood copies. So you can see those paperbacks there are actually the same ones I had when I was a kid, and this one here is the exact same copy of The Hobbit that I read when I was 9/8.
Aww.
We have The Sword of Kaigan from Page and Wick.
What beautiful cover.
Absolutely gorgeous. We'll bring that back later to talk about it. And also, Andrew Watson, friend of the channel, friend of us. We have both of his books. You should go and read Silence is Silver. It's free. Harbinger of Justice, you can buy like we did, and you can also meet him like we did and get him to sign you a copy and also haze you at the same time. Oh, something inside there. What is this? Oh, there's some bits. Oh, there's a
Can you
bookmark.
tell that we both read the free ebook?
Yeah.
we have this lovely hardback that he lovingly sent us with the little freebies.
I mean, we did buy it. Let's be real, we bought it.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to give us something for free.
No.
Hey, this is your shelf.
It is. Yeah, so this is the Brent Weeks shelf. I first read Brent Weeks again when I was getting back into genre fiction many, many moons ago. This here is the Night Angel series, which I really enjoyed at the time. I don't know if I'd still enjoy it now, but I did at the time. But these hardbacks are the Lightbringer series, which I actually haven't read The Burning White yet, and I don't know if I'm going to because I've not heard great things about the last one.
You're kind of scared of it, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a bit scared because I really, really enjoyed the first 4. But hey, talk about your copy of Frankenstein.
I love this. I was looking for Frankenstein. I picked this one up in Michael's bookshop in Ramsgate, and it's so cool. So pulp. Day of the Triffids, one of your favourites as well.
Yeah, so I love 50s sci-fi. You have to read it through the lens of this is 70 years old now, but you know, I love it. And here's another example, War of the Worlds, H.G. Wells. Set in Woking.
Yeah.
So when you go to Woking in Surrey, there are just random like alien sculptures, which I didn't know when I first went to Woking.
I
was just like, huh?
What? We have an alien sculpture in Tunbridge Wells, but that wasn't intentional.
No, it's
It looks like a Louise Bourgeois spider sculpture. It's interesting.
And then we have to move the cat out
Oh
of the
yes,
way.
move the cat.
Sorry, Your Majesty.
Sorry, buddy. It didn't wake him up. Look, he's still sleeping. He's fine.
I think his eyes are open, but he's just not. He doesn't care.
No. Okay, so the Dragonbone chair. There's a new copy coming out from Broken Binding soon, which looks very cool. Right here we have a book club copy of that and a publisher's copy of Stone of Farewell next to it. Very cool. The book club copy actually holds up, I think. We have your massive Murderbot collection.
Yeah.
Sorry about the lighting in these shots, by the way, folks. It was a weird time. It's
Of day.
Yeah.
Sorry. A weird time of day. It was yesterday.
We're having a weird time recording this too. Slightly losing our minds. There are so many books.
We knew this would happen.
Chris Wooding, The Haunting of Elizabeth Cray. So we got this one signed at WorldCon as well. This was a book that I read in a low time of my life that was a really good escapism journey for me. And he signed it and dedicated it to me, so I'm very, very, very grateful to him. And also, speaking of books of people I met at WorldCon, this is Neon Yang's The Tenserate series. This is a criminally underrated fantasy series, and I was telling Neon how much I enjoyed their third novel in this, which is an epistolary one, so they dedicated it as such. So this here isn't really a book, it's actually something different. This is a little guide for playing a TTRPG called Borg in a world that's like Japan. And I've got this because I was actually involved in this. I did the map for their world here. So that is my map illustration there. It was great to work with the guys from Slightly Reckless Games. And thank you so much for sending me a copy of it now that it's done. It's so nice to see your work in print. Like, there's nothing really like it.
So this one we were selling And we were selling in person at Lewis Book Fair. A guy came round and picked it up off the shelf. And Ross said, "Oh, if you find a few you like, you can have a deal." And he went, No, if you give me a pen, I wrote this.
We love you, Steve. Such a great guy.
Yeah, what a legend. We bumped into him again at the airport on the way home from Glasgow.
It was great. Okay, Laura.
I'm going to shut up now.
No, don't shut up. Your witty interjections are what makes this channel. So let's talk about my Terry Pratchett collection. Or my Terry Pratchett problem.
Or our retirement fund.
So, okay, there's a reason why these are in display cases, and that is because these are extremely rare. So this is a first UK edition of The Colour of Magic. There were 506 printed. Most of them went to libraries, and almost none of them look as good as this one does. So you can imagine when we were moving house, this was in about 4 layers of bubble wrap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We had to really take care of this one because, I mean, it's a historical item, you know? And what's more, we have it signed as well. Yes, this is quite special.
This is very, very, very rare.
It's a unique item, basically. And also we have right next to it, also in a display case, because similarly rare, although not quite as rare, I think there are over 1,000 printed of the Light Fantastic. But, you know...
Again, most of them were given to libraries, very few are in as good condition as this.
Yeah.
And even fewer are signed.
Yeah. But in order to complete my dream, which was to have every single Terry Pratchett book, first edition UK, first print, and signed, I had to find a way to get my hands on those two. And I swear I didn't rob anyone for them.
No.
Equal Rights is my favourite Terry Pratchett book, and I think this might actually be the most recent addition to the signed Terry Pratchetts that I have here. Thank you to Jonathan Frost, the bookseller, for selling that one to me. That made it 40 out of 40 Discworld books that were released when Terry was alive that are signed. So Mort as well, which is the 4th book from Discworld. This is also signed.
This is my favourite Terry Pratchett book.
Yeah, it's a great book. It's definite fave of a lot of people, including me. And I'd say for a lot of people, it might be the one to get you into Discworld.
I love Mort.
The alternative would be this one, which would be Guards. This is an interesting copy as well because it is actually signed there, but clearly the person who owned it also then met him again and got it signed a second time. So I absolutely love that copy. It's one of my absolute favourites. So yes, and of course we have to then go down and see the second half of Terry's career on the shelf below. I mean, I'm not going to spend much time talking about these ones. It's more of the same. They are all signed, apart from the Shepherd's Crown, obviously. But my favourite one from the second half of Terry's career was Night Watch. And we have another very, very special copy of Night Watch, and it's not the one you're currently looking at.
So the edition of Night Watch that you are about to see, Ross had to go to a car park at Gatwick Airport and get it from the boot of someone's car.
That makes it sound like it was stolen. It wasn't. It was from an auction of Patrick Janssen, who was former editor at Doubleday, and in the items that he was selling was this. This is a typescript of Night Watch, and that is a note that was included between the editor and Patrick, Diane Pearson. So inside we have printed out on A4 paper, Night Watch, an early copy. Now, I'm not going to go through this, and I never will, because I know that the Terry's estate don't really like the early drafts being shown. But let me just say, it is a one-of-a-kind item, and possibly
the rarest thing
we own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, that box was specially made.
Yeah.
And when we went to collect it, the guy very proudly presented it to us, and on the front it said, "Night Watch by Terry Pratchett, Frist Draft."
When you get a box custom made, you expect it to be a little bit better than that. But hey, it is gorgeous. The only Pratchett I've actually ever met was Rhianna Pratchett, and that was when Tiffany Akin's Guide to Being a Witch was released. So we went to a signing event with Rhianna, and we met her and got her to sign our copy of that as well. Yeah, that was so lovely to meet Rhianna. We also have some anthologies that were produced by Peter Haining, but that Terry featured prominently in, and 2 out of 3 of these are signed. The Flying Saucer is not, but the other 2 are.
We also got one of those in a charity shop for about £3.
Yeah, I had to go back and donate some more money to them because I felt guilty. Yeah.
Good Omens, another of my favourite Pratchett books.
It's amazing. And following that, we have Terry Pratchett's biography, written by Rob Wilkins, which absolutely made me cry. It was so beautiful. But yeah, no more genre fiction. Laura, it's time to talk about something which we've never really spoken much about in this channel, which is non-genre fiction, i.e. the fiction that the proles read.
Yeah, the normies read. So this is going to be me heavy. I read much more like literary fiction than Ross. This is Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. I would call this speculative fiction.
Yeah, it kind of counts.
It kind of counts. We've also got The Blind Assassin and The Robber Bride there. This here is Martyr by Kaveh Akbar.
I read this one. Yeah, I read this one this year and it destroyed me.
I remember you reading this when you were in France and just messaging me like, this has killed me. This one is very special. This is by my personal friend, Nikita Bukshani, who I first met when we were both in our very early 20s and we were both working in retail, and she had just started the first draft of it. And I'm just so proud of her for finally getting it released. Here we've got some lovely paperbacks. So we've got some Pat Barker, more Atwood I can see there. We've got some Maya Angelou, Angela Carter. We've got Shasuku Endo.
Close enough. Shizaku Endo, Silence. It's a great book. One of my favourites. It's actually one of my books. And we have this very cool copy of Youth by Conrad's. We bought it for the art.
Yeah.
Gotta be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I have read Heart of Darkness, but I don't know whether Youth is any good. More Angela Carter there as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have some owls just to match the crochet owl that we had in the Robin Hobb section. If you spotted it, then well done. But yeah, Nikita.
Yeah.
What a babe.
So proud.
Well done, Nikita. So starting off this next shelf, we actually have another one of mine, which is The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. So this is a first edition copy. Let's have a little look at it on the table. These were very hard to find, and it has a very cool title page. I love that illustration, and it's such a great book. But yeah, you can see on the copyright page, it is the first print.
So this is another very special book. This is The Outcast by Sadie Jones, and this was given to me by...
I was going to say, you should give it back to her.
by my English teacher at secondary school when I was in year 11 in 2008. Miss Chapman gave me this book, and it got me back into reading when I was being a little...
Oh, bless.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Chapman. Behind it, there we've got some more paperbacks. So we've got some Kazuo Ishiguro. We've got what else have we got there?
Laura's squinting. She doesn't have her glasses on.
No.
But we got some Robert Graves. We got some Arthur Golden, Memoirs of a Geisha. Some more Susan Hill popping out of there, and Dharma Bums.
Yeah. So Jack Kerouac. When I first graduated, I went through a bit of a beats phase. Got rid of most of them because there's like no women or representation at all, but Dharma Bums I've kept because it's a beautiful book. What else have we got? We've got some Harper Lee, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh yeah, look at that lovely copy. Look at that art.
We've also got, I can see behind it, Jamaica Inn, Daphne du Maurier.
I read that last year.
Life of Pi, The Vegetarian by Han Kang. That is an absolutely devastating book.
You're reading more Han Kang now as well.
I'm reading Greek lessons at the moment.
Why do you do this to yourself,
I
Laura?
don't know.
The Wake is a very interesting book. It's written in like a faux Middle English, which you're supposed to be able to understand, and it's very cool. And then also we have Yellowface, which I think you wanted to read.
I do want to read it. I mean, I loved The Poppy War, so I'm interested to see what Rebecca Kuang can do in the literary fiction space.
It'll be very cool to see. I mean, Yellowface, it's one of those kind of global phenomenons, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, like it's transcended, and become, one of those books that everyone has to have read.
Yeah.
So well done, Rebecca Kuang.
Right, moving on. So on this shelf, we've got 3 books by Max Porter, who is a Londoner, and all 3 of these are signed. All 3 are brilliant, but the one that has really stayed with me is Grief is the Thing with Feathers, which I read not long after my mother passed away, which was a mistake, probably, because it is the most searing representation of the aftermath of grief that I've ever read, and is absolutely brilliant, and I highly recommend it.
Ouch.
These 2 are by the illustrator of Robin Hobb's books, Jackie Morris. I have a Jackie Morris painting on the wall in the living room because she's just the most wonderful illustrator. What we got here? The Heart is the Lonely Hunter is possibly my favourite of the American classics. Criminally underrated. It's just beautiful. It's a wonderful, wonderful book.
You're a fan of Carson McCullers. You're also a fan of Steinbeck, aren't you?
I am. I love Steinbeck too. What else have we got? I can see some Sylvia Plath. Oh, that's my dad's mashed up old copy of 1984, George Orwell.
That is battered.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
How many times did you read it?
Many. We've got some hardbacks from Salman Rushdie. So we've got The Satanic Verses and Midnight's Children.
Gosh, those are amazing.
They are, aren't they?
They're so gorgeous.
Midnight's Children in particular is an amazing book.
I don't think I've read any Rushdie. I'm not sure I'm big into magical realism.
Oh, it's
really
amazing. And Midnight's Children in particular is incredible.
Do you recommend I read it?
Yeah.
Knowing me.
Maybe not.
Another book that I was recommended, The Shadow of the Wind. So, Rugby Sam, thank you for recommending that one to me. I haven't read it yet, but I will do.
Oof,
and
look at that.
Musashi I bought for the cover. It is so gorgeous. I will read it one day, I am sure. But that is just the most gorgeous art. One of my favourite covers of all time. In fact, you can see my favourite book covers if you go and click on the book cover video, which should be on the top right now. We talked about Steinbeck earlier. We have 2 copies for some reason of Mice and Men, and this is one of my favourite non-genre fiction books ever.
Yeah.
You're more of a East of Eden kind of gal, aren't you?
Yeah, I love the East of Eden.
What's this one, Laura?
This is Pond Life by Jack R. Williams, who is the nephew of my uncle's partner, who they've been together my whole life. I call her Auntie La. So yeah.
Great.
Basically my cousin.
Basically your cousin.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Close enough.
And after that, we have a kind of modern mythology, the Greek mythology section. And well, not just Greek, we also have some British there, but we have Mythos, Heroes and Troy. We have The Odyssey coming as well, which is when that's out. So we have Song of the Huntress by Lucy Holland. We also have Song of Achilles and Circe by Madeline Miller.
Ariadne
by Jennifer Saint. And The Lies We Sing to the Sea by Sarah Underwood. So we're building up that collection. It's getting there.
Yeah.
So the very last shelf, you've made it. It's been a long old time, and it was also a long old time since these books were printed. This
is the old shelf.
The antiquarian fiction shelf. And to start off, we have some John Steinbeck, which we bought this one in a little bookshop in New York. Managed to get it back with us.
This is the winter of our discontent.
Are you talking about just in general, or? Then we have Sword at Sunset. This is, again, one of my favourite book covers of all time, and you can see why. I mean,
it's so beautiful.
Look at that. It is incredible. In fact, just we teased it earlier. Let's have a little look. Compare it to Sword of Kaigan. We think that maybe there might have been some inspiration going on there.
Yeah, I think it must have been.
I mean, look at those colours. They're
so
pretty
similar.
close.
They're so similar.
And they both have sword in the name.
Yeah.
So obviously something was going on there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you authoritatively.
So we've got a couple of Hemingways here. We've got a Farewell to Arms and To Whom the Bell Tolls. And I just love these covers. They don't make covers like this anymore, and I think it's a shame.
Yeah. Unless you're what's her face, then they do. Sarah Waters.
That's true.
She gets all the cool old style looking covers.
True.
Bring them back, is what I say. And the very last book that we're going to talk about today.
Oh, I love this so much. This is a really beautiful copy of Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. It's a Vanguard Library copy, and yeah, I just love it. It's so pretty.
Well, there we go. Ooh, that was a lot of books.
It was. A lot of books.
Well done if you made it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Which I assume you must have, unless you skipped all of it.
Just because you wanted to see our faces.
If that's you, power to you.
If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like if you have enjoyed yourself. If you haven't enjoyed yourself, just shut up.
What about our social channels, Laura?
I am actively trying to build up our Instagram because up until recently it's been sorely neglected, but we are really trying to build up a bit more of a presence over there, so please take pity on these two millennials and head over to @Hardy'sBooks on Instagram. Give us a follow if you are so inclined. I would say follow us on TikTok, but let's be honest.
That's never happening.
No.
Then head over to hardysbooks.co.uk and please go and buy a book because we are low on money.
Yeah.
From having bought too many books.
Yeah.
Let our problem be your problem. Okay, we need to end this video, Laura. We've gone on too long.
Okay.
All right, see you soon, everyone.
Bye.